Well, hey everybody, how are you? Wanted to talk about 5 traits attorneys appreciate in a paralegal. And as new paralegals, this has to be of the utmost importance to you, okay? Um, let's talk about number 1, time management. How do you manage your time when you're first starting out um, in the legal field as a paralegal, when you're not sure about what you should be doing? Well, every day it will start to become clearer to you. But one of the first things you can do to help manage your time is to look at your calendar every single morning when you come into work and see what's happening for that week and the next week. Look ahead, because it may be that your attorney will want to have you remind him or her that something's coming up so they're not caught unaware. Yes, I know they can look at the calendar too, but it goes a long way when you remind them. Also, have a to-do list of everything that you are given to work on. It may be that the attorney will want you to draft a notice of appearance. Well, you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can look in the forms file, and most law firms or wherever you're working have a forms file of some sort that people can grab documents from and just put the right information in there for that particular case, and you can get that ready for the attorney, okay, to review. You never file anything unless the attorney has okayed it. So managing your time is, you're going to have those 2 items at least as a system to keep you on track. And you're going to look at your to-do list when you get in the morning. Now, you have hard copies of documents that are going to have to be filed in each of the client folders that come in from the court, or that the attorney hands you and wants that to be placed in the file. You have to find time during the day to do that. It can't be left to pile up. You know, I walked into a paralegal's who was on vacation, a paralegal's cubicle, because the attorney was frantically looking for a document, and the filing was on the floor, kind of hidden by the chair. It was literally 2 feet high and not alphabetized. You had to just go through the whole thing and find, you know, where this document was, and it was in there. So that's not how to operate and to proceed through your paralegal career. It won't make a good impression. So you don't want to. What that does is it creates a lot of frustration, anxiety, and chaos. So how do you tackle the filing of hard copies when you don't have any time to spare? Well, you have to make time. And it may be that your attorney doesn't arrive in the office till 9:30. Well, if you're there at 8:30 and you've looked over your calendar and your to-do list, you could tackle some filing then. You could do 5 pieces and start to whittle away at it. You could also do it right after you get back from lunch, when especially if you're to take your lunch hour 12 to 1 and get right back to it. Of course, you might be interrupted, but then you're going to have to find a little pocket of time, even 5 minutes, to do some filing, okay? The prioritizing of your tasks on the to-do list, excuse me, that is not for you to determine what has to be prioritized and what goes first, what you should be working on. You need to run it by the attorney. Okay? Not just determine that on your own. Run it by the attorney, get a 2-minute meeting and say, this is what I'm working on. Would you prefer I work on something else first? Get that nailed down so there's no question about what you should be working on, okay? No guessing ever. All right, one more thing with time management. You may have, a message where you have to call back a client and you are furiously working on something that has to get done. You need to call back that client. You know, they're waiting there. If you've ever had the opportunity to sit by your phone and wait for an appliance repair person, an attorney to call you back, a doctor's office to call you back with an okay for a prescription or a question that you have, you know how frustrating it can be. So be sure that you are calling that client back and taking the time to do that. That's good time management. Let's see, number 2, organizational skills. Again, hard copies of documents have to be filed systematically within the expandable folders or whatever type of system your corporate legal department or private law firm, wherever you're working, whatever they use. You've got to, usually in the legal field, we hook documents in, including correspondence. But for the legal documents, notices, motions, pleadings of any type, we had to hook them in and index them. And sometimes we use numbers for our tab. We tab them, not for the correspondence, but for the legal documents, so that we can find things quickly. And it's really not just for us, it's for the attorney to locate documents quickly, okay? All right, so let's go to number 3, technical skills. Microsoft Word is a given. You have to become an expert in that. Go to YouTube, find videos where it doesn't sound robotic, but that there's an actual human teaching, and they're on YouTube, so find it. Don't ask me for a link. You look for that on your own on YouTube for basic and advanced skills in Microsoft Word. The second software package I would suggest that you become an expert in basic Excel. So make a list of family members, maybe 10 family members in those cells on each line of an Excel spreadsheet, and then learn how to sort those names. Put in last name, comma, first name in one cell, and then next name, do 10, 20 names, and then learn how to sort those names. That's basic Excel. And take a class on YouTube for that. Okay. Third software package, PowerPoint. Do the same thing. Learn how to create maybe a 3-page presentation. Make up your own. Doesn't have to be anything special. Learn how to do a front page and then a couple pages behind that, as if you were going to give a talk about something. And create that presentation. Easy. But if it's scary to you, just go to YouTube and learn how to do it. Find somebody that's teaching basic PowerPoint, learn how to do that, okay? And then once you do that, get it on your resume. Make sure those things are on your resume under software skills, okay? All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, being a real problem solver. That's what we do as paralegals. So let's pretend that a client was given an intake package, just a set of forms that they had to fill out by hand. And it was a lot to fill out, and they brought it back to you, but you were out to lunch. And so when you came back from lunch, you saw that they dropped that off. You're all excited. But when you look through it, you see that they have missed page upon page of information that you need in order to fill something out that will eventually get filed with the court. And so it was left blank. And so now you've got to contact the client. That's part of our problem solving, to ask for that information, even if it takes you 30 minutes to go through that with the client. And if they don't, if they say, well, I don't have that information right now, but I'll call you tomorrow. Well, make sure that you've calendared that. You have a note to yourself that they're supposed to call you. If they don't call you by a certain time, by say 2:30, 3 o'clock, call them and get that information. You've got to call back and go and pursue them for that information. So that's part of our problem solving. That's just one type of problem solving. Okay, the last trait is having this incredible attention to detail as a paralegal. And here are some examples. Setting up a case. When a new client comes in, the case has to be set up a certain way according to how your law firm or your legal department of a corporation or how your government agency does it. And they do it in a certain way, and they don't want that changed usually. So set up the case the way you're supposed to. Some law firms, for instance, will, inside the correspondence folder, may have a sheet stapled to the inside that gives the attorney the contact information for that client, where they can easily call them to ask a question. If the attorney comes in on a Saturday and wants to talk over case strategy, or is calling them back and they need to have the phone number right in front of them, they can't find maybe the information you left them, and they can easily grab the case and look inside and see that phone number. So that's interesting. Not all law firms do that, but it's great when they do. All right, the other thing about paying attention to detail, one of the other examples is you have to have systems in place so that you do not drop the ball when it comes to deadlines. And one of those is the calendar. And so if something is due 2 weeks from now, then you're going to put that date on the calendar, but you may put a reminder a week before it's due that you need to remind the attorney about this. It might be something the attorney has to work on, and the attorney will normally appreciate that you're reminding him or her that this particular document has to get done. Okay, so those are ways that we pay attention to detail every single day. All right, so that is it for today. Should you have any questions whatsoever, please post them below in the comment area, and also I'm going to put a link in the description box to the website. Be sure you go to the website to take advantage of the 2 complimentary items that I have available for you. One is called 19 Alternative Paralegal Careers List. So when you click on the link in the description box, it'll take you to the website. Then look for the 19 Alternative, and you'll see that. You'll have to sign up, but that takes you, by signing up, you get taken to a hub that has videos and a free chapter of my legal break-in book. Now, while you're on the website, you can also click on the tab for the book and get, order the whole book. But if you just want a free chapter, please get that for yourself today, okay? But I will put a link to the website below. The last thing I want to say is that my class, Paralegal Inner Circle class, is launching on January 15th again. We launched it in early November, and my class is going right now. Go check out the details about the class right on the website. Click the link below. The class is called Paralegal Inner Circle class, and you'll see that right on the website with its own tab. So have a great day, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.